So the first technique that we're going to show you today is called self-talk. Because the child's initiation of conversation is so important, this would be the first technique that we use in order to get them to a place where they can truly participate in recast intervention. Self-talk is when we describe our own actions as we engage in parallel play with the child. Copy the child's play and then comment on it. Let's take a look over here at what's happening.
Taking the blocks out of the box. I'm putting the blocks on the floor. See me taking the blocks out of the box?
The second technique we're going to talk about is called parallel talk. It's got the same concept as the self-talk, where we really want the child to start initiating. So these are some of the first steps we're going to take before the actual recast intervention. In parallel talk, we're actually talking about what the child is doing instead of what the clinician is doing herself. So let's take a look again about what is happening.
The blocks in the box. Blocks in the box. Blocks in the box. Another block in the box. In the box. Clean up. The next technique we're going to be demonstrating is called imitation. Imitation occurs when an adult repeats what the child says. After an adult imitates what a child says, there's a substantial probability that the child will imitate the imitation. Research suggests that children who imitate show advances in language development. If the child repeats an adult's imitation, we can go on to use some of the other forms of contingent responses. Or we can use the child's imitation to initiate a repeated back and forth exchange that will help the child develop basic turn-taking structure for conversation.
Tuck, go.
Truck, go.
Truck, go. My truck.
My truck.
My truck. Truck, roll.
Truck, roll.
Truck, roll.
Expansion is when you take what the child said and add the grammatical morphemes and semantic details that make an acceptable adult utterance. Research suggests expansions have been associated with grammatical development. We would use this technique for kids who need more grammatical morphemes.
Dada, stairs. Dada is going up the stairs. Dada, night-night. Dada is going night-night. Dada fall. Dada fell down out of the attic.
Our next therapy is called extensions. These are comments that add some semantic information to a remark made by the child. These are different from expansions. Expansions increase grammatical morphemes, while extensions are aimed at increasing sentence length.
Nani read.
Nani loves to read books.
Daddy bed.
Daddy is tired.
Girl cook.
The girl needs to cook because she's hungry. The next technique is called build-ups and breakdowns. Research suggests that children will take their own utterance, break it down into phrases, and then build it back up again. So for this technique, the clinician will take the child's initiation, first expand it so it's grammatically correct, and then break it down into phrases. Let's take a look.
Pig barn.
Yes, the pig is in the barn. The barn. He's in the barn. The pig is in the barn. The pig. The pig is in the barn. The next technique we're going to be demonstrating is recasting sentences. Recasting sentences is similar to expansions, but in recasting, the adult expands upon the child's utterance to make it into a question or into a negative statement.
Pig barn.
Is the pig on the barn?
Pig barn.
The pig is not in the barn. Recast sentences are particularly useful when they do not correct the child's form, but simply demonstrate correct use of the target. Here's an example.
Daddy liked to sleep.
I bet Daddy loves to nap. One type of recast sentences that have been particularly helpful to normal children in learning the verb structure in English is the verbal reflexive question. These are recasts that repeat part of the child's utterance but pass the conversational turn to the child by turning partial repetition into a question.
Mommy, up.
Mommy's going up the stairs, isn't she?
Grandpa, bed.
Grandpa's going to bed, isn't he?